With Boanerges, this is your friend James, and I just want to encourage you. I did a video before about deciding to go shirtless when you decide to do it on purpose. You know, you make a mental quality decision. Well, we're going to talk about fapping right now. Deciding to and not to. Hey, listen, because I remember there are people, they decide, same thing with exercise program, they decide that they're going to not do it for 2 weeks, then they end and they post on their video or for a month, then they post on their video how much energy had and how much focus they had, but they're going to start doing it again. So it's like, oh, well, I'll just, tear it off every other day or once a week and once a month. So like, no. Decide not to and decide to stop. The purpose the purpose of not fapping is to give yourself self-control so when you get married, you're not cheating on. Why do you think there's so many people who are cheating on folks? Because they're fapping to pornography and all sorts of stuff, and so they're priming the pump. So when their little friend is not available one Friday night, but they've been, that they've been having sex with all this time. This phone is like listening. Having sex with all this time, all this stuff, and it's like, then when their little girlfriend goes on a trip for the weekend and they get in heat, they decide they gotta go. I mean, come on, that's how people cheat on their spouses and wives. The man's working at the office, the woman's working at the office, they're both happily married, but they didn't practice self-restraint. That's why you teach children. That's why we teach abstinence, is so the child can control their sexual urges. So when they get married, they've already learned how to control it. Just like Star Trek 3, they were doing that little palm fire thing, the Vulcan males had to learn how to control themselves. I might need to turn off these notifications. So the boy learns how to control himself. So when he's an adult, when that happens every 7 years, it doesn't affect him. Just like, that's why you teach kids and you teach yourself not to fap, not to masturbate, so that when that comes up and your wife goes, or your husband, the spouse goes on a trip for a month or 6 months, you know how to control yourself. So, but the thing was, I wanted to talk about, most importantly, was the decision not to. Just like people make a decision to exercise for 30 days or 90 days, 60 days, they do that and they finish because they made that decision to do that. They decided not to fap for 2 weeks. And after that's over, they fap for a whole month straight. I mean, come on. Just like the people who exercise for 90 days. After that, that's what that was their goal. That's what they set. Instead of a lifestyle of health, They set the goal for 90 days and they pig out and gain back 20 more pounds after all that stuff because it wasn't a lifestyle decision. The no fap lifestyle argument, the no fap decision is to not do it, period. And the reason why many people fail with it is because they decide, they never make the quality decision at the beginning to stop. They're always like, I'd like to stop, I'm thinking about stopping, I'll not do it for 2 weeks, I'll not do it for a month, I'll not do it for a year. And that's why people are like, they've been going on for years and years not fapping because they had not made the initial decision that they're not going to do it anymore, period. When you decide that you're going to stop something, just like smoking and doing drugs, the mental decision, when that is officially made, we're talking about an official quality decision to stop. It may take several weeks or several months. So, okay, I'm coming to the decision. That's the best part about prayer. You can ask God to help you come to the decision that you're not going to do that anymore. So you can pray and you can give yourself a time, like, okay, I'm gonna give myself a month. That's starting the next month, on the next month of, the first, I'm gonna stop fapping once and for all. And it gives yourself mental preparation and you can start thinking and preparing yourself. And saying, so that's why I want to encourage you. This deals with eating and overeating and not eating, because people can go on a diet for 2 weeks, but they never made the personal, official decision to not overeat anymore and to keep. So make the quality decision not to fap. You make this decision not to. It'd help too, just like not having sex when you have a wife, you practice that you're not going to, and they already made the decision that if your wife goes on a trip, you're not going to commit adultery with some random person at the office or at the store. Because the decision's already been made. That's why parents, you help your children make the proper decisions now, that they're not going to have sex before they get married. Help them make the decision now and address that situation now So they're not wondering if it's okay. If they've made the decision that they're not going to have sex before they're married, then that means if their little boyfriend or girlfriend says, if you don't love me, you're going to have sex. If you don't love me, and say, if you love me, you have sex with me, they'll be like, well, it's time to terminate this relationship. Or they're not taking, first of all, it's time to terminate it. But if they never made the decision, it's like, well, maybe I need to do this because they never made the decision, never made the quality decision. So make the quality decision. Les movies.